Good morning, everybody. So happy to see you all here today. My name is Catherine McHugh. I'm a member of the Worship Associates here at the Unitarian Universalist Area Church in Sherburne. I'm back and happy to be so. My pronouns are she and her. And I'm seeing everybody arrive through the door as they do, a little minute or two, 30 seconds late. So if you'd like to just take a breath to arrive, and also maybe even feel your feet on the floor of this beautiful building that has been here for so long and through so many seasons and so many events. So welcome to this loving community. Come in bringing all of who you are. Bring your wounds and aching hearts. Bring your pain too numb to feel. There are healing waters here to ease your troubles. Let go of the expectations placed on you by others and those you have placed on yourself. May you touch hands with those you love. May you experience awe, looking out the window, love and humility here. May you see something of beauty and feel a sense of wonder. May you know that each of us contributes to the beauty of the whole. Bring all that you are and all that you love to this hour together. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Reverend Nathan, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm privileged to be one of your ministers. Bless you in the back, whoever sneezed. That's what we do. We get to bless each other here in our space. It feels like August outside, doesn't it? Yeah, that's right. Let's say good morning to those folks who are watching from afar on our screens. Good morning, everybody. We have just a few announcements today. Continue to encourage us to sign up to, I was going to say light the bell and ring the chalice. It's actually the other way, right? Light the chalice, ring the bell, and bring flowers if you'd like to. There's a big board over there to my left. And if you're new this morning or your first couple of Sundays here, there's a blue card in your pew. You can lift that up for folks to see that if you need to see that. Yep, fill those out. If you'd like to get the best email in your life, fill that out and put it in the welcome team members when they come by for our offering later on in the service. And I only have like one, not even announcement. It's time for Sunday Spotlight. So I said this last week, our brains work such that we remember things that have noises and sounds attached to them, right? So we should start doing this during sermons, Kathleen, yeah. So again, our jingle for Sunday Spotlight is... So it's got a little bit of like Star Wars, like Darth Vader vibe to it, which I like. So Sunday Spotlight is a way that we are encouraging us to live our values in the world based on one of our Unitarian Universalist values, of which there are 6. So today's Sunday Spotlight is the value of transformation. And you can see it up there, okay? And these are just simple things that each of us can do over the course of a week, this week, to live our value of transformation. And this week's one is really important. It's about telling your state legislator to support the indoor air quality bill. And if you click on the QR code, okay, it will tell you literally how to do that. It goes you right to the page of your legislator to fill it out. So sometime this morning after you call it up, not during Ian's sermon, click on the QR code and it'll just go right to the page. It's very cool. And this will just tell your state legislators to do this, and it really helps folks who have asthma. I'm one of those people, to help indoors be clean. It's a literal lifesaver. So thank you for doing that. I invite us to say good morning and welcome to our neighbors.
Good morning. My name's Ian Evans. I am your Ministerial Intern here at UUAC, and my pronouns are he, him, and we actually have one more announcement before our opening words. Today at 12 p.m., the justice teams at UUAC are inviting you to come help plan the Winter Justice Forum. This is a big event that is happening in January 24th, titled Seeking Justice, Voices of the Vulnerable. This is a whole process that started over the summer, but they want to hear from you if you couldn't attend the first meeting or two. They want to hear all of our voices. So please join them after the service. They will have some food and talk together about what vulnerable populations they're considering highlighting, how we as Unitarian Universalists can respond to the needs of those most deeply affected, and how we all can participate in this congregation-wide event. Where will that be? In Channing. It'll be in Channing room. Wonderful. We hope to see you all there. Please join me for our opening words, which are in your order of service or up on the screens. Have patience for everything unresolved in your heart. Try to love the questions themselves. Perhaps then, someday, without noticing, we will into the answer. Those words are adapted from Rainier Maria Rilke. Please rise as you are willing and able for our opening hymn, number 1003 in your blue hymnal, Mystery.
I got some helpers for this hymn, because this hymn has these 4 lines to it, and each of the lines goes with the other. So we'll sing it, if you're reading up there, if you're looking in your hymnal, we'll sing it straight through, and then it'll be a party. You can just pick the one you like and sing it, or sample as you go. We'll have people up here singing all of the different lines. And just quickly, the reason there's that painting in there is that painting is the origin of the text. It's a Gauguin painting. In French, it says these words here: where do we come from, where are we going, etc. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery, mystery, mystery. Let's join on the last line. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going?
And as we remain standing, as we'd like to, I'd love to have Caleb come up and light our chalice. As we say together affirmation, both our chalice and our covenant are our life and our faith here in this community. It's a multi-step process for those that can't see. Let us say together, love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd love to invite our young people up front with myself and Ian today. We have an important game that we're going to be playing that we need all of your help with. How we doing, everybody? Yeah, we're good? Congregation, how are we? Yeah, we're all right. Okay. So, Ian and I have a little game this morning. We just sang It's a Mystery, It's a Mystery. But many of us have at our fingertips access to powerful what to help us answer almost any question? Powerful what? Brains. Thank you. Thank you. But when our brains fail us, sometimes we have these powerful devices, and we think that we can answer almost any question quickly. Yes? Well, we'll see if this works. So Ian and I are going to have a game where we challenge us to see some pictures and try to ask questions until Ian cannot find the answer via his internet connection. All right? So we're going to show you 3 different pictures. Your job is to ask questions. Ian's going to look for answers. And your job is to come up with a question that he cannot find an answer to. Yes? Okay.
I'm a pretty good Googler, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough.
All right. Sorry, we had Wonder Box. What am I even doing? We have 3 pictures. One is in the Wonder Box, and then we're going to see them on the screen. Ian, do you want to? Who would like to look at the first picture? Oop, first hand. Yep. First picture. You can pass it around to your friends if they can't see it on the TV, or on the screen, I should say. All right. This may or may not be Reverend Nathan's one of his bicycles. May or may not be one of the bicycles that gave Nathan a concussion a couple years ago. Okay, who wants to ask a question about this image? Question. Why did we choose this image?
That's such a good question. I chose this image because I thought it would be funny to have Nathan talk about one of his hobbies.
That's your answer. Other questions? Question. Where's the rider? The rider is, great question. The rider's behind the image or behind the camera. Question. Keep thinking, I know. Another question, who hasn't asked a question yet? Hold on. Question. Why is there a log next to it? Ian, what do you think about the fall and drought? What does that do?
Oh, it dries everything up and
Causes a lot of tree fall during drought, right? That's why a lot of trees are falling, because the roots are being compromised because of the drought. We don't even need Google. Look how smart Ian and I are. Other questions? Hold on a sec. Question? The rider was me behind my camera. So I was like this, and say Ian's the bike. I was like, cha-ching, because I had to take pictures of my stuff, right? And show it off to get followers on social media. Question? What? The bike is, it's not new, but I love, in the world, when the world is chaos, I love to keep things tidy. That's my answer, and I like to keep things clean. All right, I feel like we've been able to answer all these questions. Ian, do you want to move on to the next image?
sure. Do you want to talk about some possible questions that we would be able to answer?
How many miles do you think this machine has on it? No. No. I mean, I'm fit, but I'm not that fit. How many miles do you think? 6 miles? More? I actually don't know the answer to this question because I don't keep track. There's not like a little computer that tells me how many times the wheels spin. So Ian, I think that's a question we don't know the answer to.
No, we don't know that one.
So,
Okay.
all right, take that, artificial intelligence. Next question, or next image.
Next image. Who would like to come get the next image?
Questions about this image? Why is there not a background? Ian, why didn't you do a background? It's a white background. There's a background. Faye, you had a question? No. Okay. Question. Who made it?
Give me a second.
I know the answer to that without having to Google it. Anyone know who the chalice was created by? Don or Kirsten? Whose hand is Kirsten? Shout it out. No, actually, yeah. Anyone know who created the chalice? Nope, I didn't create it. Friends, as Ian is Googling, I'm faster than Google. The chalice was created by a Unitarian minister in Germany to provide an image that would welcome Jews who were being persecuted in Germany. And it was a nondescript symbol to show that they were welcome. The chalice was like an open arm welcome so the refugees could figure out where to go that was safe. And that minister was actually the minister at the Wellesley Church just down the street on Route 16. Question. Who created this exact one? Ian. We don't know.
I don't know.
Good one.
Don't. Maybe if I look at the metadata, I can find it. But right now, I don't know.
So Ian, because we're kind of running out of time because we have our morning classes today, what do you think you would like our young people and our congregation to know about this process of asking and answering questions?
We have so much information right at our fingertips, and we actually know so little. The world is mostly made up of things that we don't know. even though we have these devices in our hands that seem like they can answer everything. So I want to encourage you to keep asking questions, even when it seems like the answers are so obvious, they're right there. I promise you there's so much that we don't know, and there's so much that we need to keep asking about. Yeah.
AI isn't the answer. Also, apparently, like 20 ChatGPT questions, it seems to have power to power all the U.S. battles for years, but maybe don't have that.
That's right. Your brains are more powerful than AI. So go.
So, yeah, first of all, I'd like everybody to stand up, our young people to stand up. And I'd love our teachers are going to be joining myself today to stand up. First of all, before we start moving, friends, I just want to say hold on a sec, Faye. I want to say thank you to those of us who have volunteered to teach this semester. So big praise to you. All of our young people and our teachers will go to the lobby, and we're going to point you in which direction to go after that. Thank you, friends. As we sing them out we're so glad you're here.
So glad you're here today. We're so glad you're here. So glad you're here. So glad you're here today. Love brought us here. Love brought us here. Love brought us here today. Love brought us here. Love brought us here. Love brought us here today. Joy brought us here. Joy brought us here. Joy brought us here today. Joy brought us here. Joy brought us here. Joy brought us here today.
Now is a time for drawing closer to our center. Be you here in the sanctuary or at home, I invite you to place your feet upon the ground. Take a few deep breaths. Our prayer hymn for this month is "There's a River Flowing in My Soul." There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart. Many of us today arrive here carrying prayers and thoughts for loved ones Gail O'Brien has a prayer for Jordan, who is continuing to heal. This is a prayer for Matthew, who's fighting through some setbacks with his cancer. If you have someone who is on your heart today, someone that you love, maybe yourself, I invite you to speak that name out loud or keep it within. Let's light a candle for all those names said and unsaid. And a prayer for the world, for all the violence we see on the news, on the TV, for all the pain in so many hearts. For those taken by ICE, for their families, and for the continuing fight for justice. We light a prayer for the world. And prayers of thanksgiving. Catherine says, I'm thankful that Mother Earth ever reminds me that all that is difficult, awful, and almost unspeakable is not the final answer. Nature is. For Marianne, a prayer of thanksgiving for all those working tirelessly to bring food to those experiencing famine. If you have something that you are thankful for this morning, I invite you now to speak it out loud in this space. Fall colors. We light a candle of thanksgiving. Join me now in a time of prayer. Spirit of life, that which has no names and many names, we gather here together in community to feel you between us, to feel your work through our hands, to feel the joy of community, the love of each other, though we feel sorrow, though we know there is pain, we come here together to feel you anyway. We feel joy despite it all, sometimes to spite it all. We feel joy and we bring community. Help to remind us, Spirit of life, that that is where our strength lies. In each other, and in that which brings us together. May it ever do so.
Our reading this morning is by Walt Whitman. When I heard the learned astronomer. When I heard the learned astronomer, when the proofs, the figures were ranged in columns before me. When I was shown the charts and diagrams to add, divide, and measure them. When I, sitting, heard the astronomer where he lectured with much applause in the lecture room. How soon, unaccountable, I became tired and sick, till rising and gliding out, I wandered off by myself. In the mystical, moist night air, and from time to time, looked up in the perfect silence at the stars.
Good morning. My name is Mary Ann Sabetti Gramajo, and my pronouns are she, her, and I'm a member of the Sanctuary Immigration Team. Today, the offering will be for the organization called LUCE or LUCE. Some of you may not have heard it, but they're very involved in the immigration space. I'm going to read what the organization talks about their name because it's really important. LUCE is an amalgam of different words for light in various Indo-European languages. We choose this term because it captures the ultimate goal of our network, illuminating ISIS actions so they cannot operate in the dark, and to bring light to our community and in the Commonwealth. I don't think any of us can imagine what it'd be like to go about your daily life, bringing your kids to school, going to shopping, trying to go to work, trying to just do anything in your life, and all of a sudden be picked up off the street by who knows who, and to go where we don't know. So two of the aspects of the organization is to let people know what's going on. So we're asking you, and there's flyers around too, to one, just be aware of the organization. You don't have to get involved. If you see ICE somewhere, and you see just a group of, soldiers or different people, masked people, whatever, there's a phone number you can call. And someone will answer that call. You don't have to get involved. In fact, you shouldn't unless you've been trained. So just make a call, and the people that this organization is involved with train people to answer the phone. They have the many different languages that are available, so whatever language one speaks, they can call. And the other piece is when that call comes through, there's a rapid response team that is trained to go to the area. Not to be in conflict, never the goal. It's just to be present, number one, to see what's happening, and also if someone is taken, that they can say, what is your name? Because sometimes they don't even know who's been taken. And where are you taking that person? They do not get involved in any confrontation because that makes it worse for the person being detained. So those are two pieces of what they do. And today we're asking for money as they try to train people, do it in person and virtual to carry on this mission, and also to mobilize people. It takes a lot of work. ICE is everywhere, and it's becoming more and more prominent. And ICE even LUCE has to come even to protect things like food distribution. So they're around, even though that's not something that's on the spot. They know they're going to have a food distribution. They are there because if something happens, they want to be able to respond in a really professional way. So we're asking today for whatever your generosity could be so they can train people, they can mobilize, they can expand, because I think we're only seeing the beginning of what will be coming. So we thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you.
Why does the bullfrog like to leap? Why does the kitten like to sleep? Why does the willow like to weep? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. How does a mountain grow so tall? How does a pebble get so small? How does the sunshine touch them all? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But ask away, ask away. Who can say, who can say, who can say? How does a baby know when to cry? How does a mama know a lullaby? How did the moon learn to fly? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But ask away, ask away. Who can say, but ask away. Where does the wind start to blow? Where does a river start to flow? And where does a flower start to grow? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Why do people all grow old? Why do leaves die in the cold? Why are some stories never told? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But ask away, ask away. Who can say, who can say, who can say? But ask away, ask away. Who can say, who can say, who can say?
Quick tech check. James, can you hear me up there? Are you picking me up? Okay. I noticed that Nathan didn't put his robe on today, and I wasn't sure, and then I started sweating bullets, and I think he made the right choice. I'm going to be a stereotype here. So this month's worship theme is curiosity. If you hadn't had a chance yet, the worship associates wrote up this wonderful description about curiosity, how it fits into our UU values. And then there's been a lot going on in the world, so I wanted to make sure I touched on curiosity today. And it's been particularly relevant for me because my daughter, Ren, who is going to be 3 in November, has started playing the why game. And I'm hearing laughs of recognition. I'm sure if you know of small children, if you have been around small children, you are probably familiar with the why game. And that is chiefly consists of just saying why, asking why over and over again. And before I became a father, I knew about the why game, and I was determined that I was going to answer every question. How silly I was. I was going to explain everything to my kid as well as I could, and she was going to ask why, and I would do my best to have every answer. That quickly fell apart. Sometimes it is a wonderful exercise. Ren has started to notice clouds, which is really fun. And so the recent rain that we've been getting, I've gotten to explain how to notice which clouds carry rain, that the big dark clouds are carrying rain. And she'll ask why. Well, the clouds are big because they're holding a lot of water, and then it comes down, it all falls down. Why? Well, bigger clouds hold more rain, just like Daddy's hand can hold more things because my hands are bigger. The bigger clouds can hold more rain. Good job, I thought. Why? Well, I'm a grown-up, and as you grow up, your body and your hands get bigger. Why? Are we still talking about clouds? Why? And then it all falls apart. I'm not even sure what the question is anymore, frankly. If we're still talking about clouds, do I need to get into surface area? Physics? Do I even know? If we're talking about growing up, do I need to say why we grow up? I don't really know that. Eventually, I discovered that the why game eventually leads me to just questioning everything. And so I inevitably say, I don't know, and quickly change the subject. And I love that this month's theme is curiosity, because I think that we UUs are, by and large, a pretty curious lot. We tend to be more well-educated, a little bit more intellectual. Sometimes we can be a little bit heady. We really like to think and study our faith, like it's a puzzle. And one of my favorite little UU facts is that during the bumpy merger in the 1960s between the Unitarians and the Universalists, both sides were kind of trading jabs about having to merge with the other. And the Universalists complained that, quote, the Unitarians didn't feel like they had a good sermon unless they didn't quite understand it themselves. We like a good thinker. It's actually part of what I love about this faith. It's one of the ways that I understand what it means to be a UU for me is to view the asking of the questions and the seeking of answers as holy acts. And so we ask why a lot. The only problem is that sometimes asking those questions, like with my daughter, can only take us so far. I think this world needs people like the people in this room, people like us, to ask the really big questions, the scary questions. And it's also important for us to be curious about our curiosity. One of the things that Ren has taught me is that sometimes when we're asking questions, we're not always actually asking the questions. Or we're not just asking questions. Sometimes we are trying to connect with others. Sometimes we're trying to avoid something, maybe avoid feelings. Sometimes we're looking for something to substitute a truly embodied experience. One thing that my wife and I realized pretty quickly about the why game is that Ren is not actually always asking just out of curiosity. For example, the why game really ramps up at bedtime. It's a great way to delay bedtime, and Dad falls for it every time. I didn't know that someone could ask so many questions about Goodnight Moon. So many whys to ask. And the other night, my wife pointed out that whenever Ren asks why, we often not only answer, but we make it a moment of paying attention to her, of being intentional with her. She is curious and she genuinely wants to know about the world. That's what growing up is. That's what being a kid is. And I think sometimes her curiosity is not just coming from a place of curiosity, but a place of wanting connection, a place of wanting to be in community with us, with others. I think that's beautiful. And I think we should notice when sometimes our curiosity is not just about the curiosity. Like Ren asking why at bedtimes, sometimes it's avoidance. this is something I know personally, not just from Ren, but from myself. I know that I get in my head as a great way to avoid feeling my feelings. Does anyone else do this? I'm hearing some grumbles. And these days, I'm having a lot of feelings about the world, feelings about the way that things are headed. I'm having a lot of feelings, and sometimes it feels easier to escape into my head, to start intellectualizing and asking questions instead of being with where I'm at. And I know that I have talked with many of you here, and I have heard that you are also feeling the hard feelings. People are feeling anxious and scared and heartbroken. And that is a lot, and those feelings are a lot, especially when you're already holding other things in your personal life, in your family, in yourself. And so it's not always a bad thing to need an escape. But for me, I know that sometimes I will read the news not really because it's important for me to know what the latest headline is, but because I get to intellectualize and learn about what's happening rather than sitting with my pain for the world. If I could just know it and study it and hear from all the experts, then surely I will find a way through it. And importantly, if I can solve the problem with my brain, I don't even have to deal with the feelings down here. Sometimes we ask why to avoid being with ourselves. And I'm not saying don't read the news. I want to be clear. I was a journalist, please. I am not saying that. Just that it's important to be aware when we are using a coping mechanism to avoid what's going on in our hearts. And like I said, I think thinking and asking questions and curiosity is so central to our religion, and our faith does not tell us to put our brains at the center or to put our thoughts at the center. We are told and called to put love at the center. If we are practicing putting love at the center, we need to feel and lead with our hearts and our bodies. And I need to do that too. I am with you in this struggle if you also feel this. And I love it when Ren asks me why. It is something that I was looking forward to as a parent, and it has not disappointed. And just to reiterate that the why will only take us so far. The world that our faith is calling us to build has its seeds in this very room, in our hearts, in our bodies, and in our shared community. And we need to ask questions and think through the world that we want to build, but we also need to feel it. It's one of the reasons I love being an intern here. I feel that love every Sunday. Do you? Sometimes we will get up here and Nathan and I will just talk about the vibe of the room. What is the energy in the room? And that's not thinking through it. Sometimes we'll try to think through why would it be this way? But mostly it's important that we just pay attention to where we are all at together. So be curious, ask questions, and be curious about your curiosity. Yes, we need to learn and know more, but is it just about the information we seek, or is there something more going on there? A need for connection, or a desire to avoid and intellectualize rather than feel? An attempt to explain what must be felt and embodied and experienced, or something else? I have, some of you may know, 2 master's degrees. So I know all about intellectualizing, and one of the gifts of having a toddler is that she is all about feelings, big feelings. She has big feelings, and she gets to teach me a lot through those big feelings about her needs and about mine and about how she is shaping my theology. We are a faith community of seekers and questioners. And may our faith lead us to ask. May our faith lead us to question even our questions. Please join me for our closing hymn, number 146, Soon the Day Will Arrive. The day will arrive. Please join me in our call to ministry. We go forth into the world in peace to act with works of love, to affirm each person's dignity, and to cherish the living earth. My friends, here we are all together, asking our beautiful questions. I hope you will join me this week in being curious about your curiosity, asking the things that are so hard to ask about. May it be so, and amen.